At last, I finally get to play the Windows XP desktop background video game after all these years. My anticipation is through the roof, he lied. Wait, what do you mean there's no XP10 on here? You said there was an XP10. Hold on. Get the fuck back here. You mean to tell me I wasted 2 hours of my life blowing a bunch of fucking petals through a grass field for nothing? Are you kidding me? Now what am I supposed to do with this grassy shit? Okay, fine, whatever. We'll go with it. I've played worse ideas and got I don't know. Okay, fine, whatever. Talk about a letdown. Jesus fuck. Originally released on PlayStation 3 back in 2009 and then 10 years later, eventually gracing the PC Master Race courtesy of that game company and Annapurna Interactive, Flower, yes, that's the actual name, is a game where you control the wind. Collect a bunch of flower petals to wake up a bunch of flowers to manipulate the world around those flowers. And that's about it, really. That's the extent of Flower's gameplay. Once you've manipulated one world enough, an exit whirlwind tunnel will appear to warp you out of this fantasy world and, oh look, the title screen is less destitute and another flower will appear with a new world to manipulate. And this keeps going until you've cleared all 6 worlds, 7 if you include the credits, and you eventually end up with a nice, clean, and colorful room to call your own. Wouldn't that be lovely if that's all you had to aspire to? And that's just it, really. There's no time limit, there's no score, there's no losing endgame, and no real penalty other than you're quitting the game, or in the event the game crashes hard enough that it turns off your PC at the same time. Yes, that's actually happened to me once or twice. In which case you just have to start the level all over again. And each level takes about, 5 to 10 minutes to get through if you really want to go out and uncover all the flowers. It's not meant to be an overly taxing game as far as your brain is concerned. Flower is content to be one of those perfectly casual games where you just guide the wind to wake up the pretty flowers and get some semblance of calm and serenity, and that's it. Nothing more to it than that. If you're looking for substance, you're not going to find it here. If you're looking for people, no such luck there either. But hey, you know what? I'll deliver the goods. Here's 2 seconds of XP10. Fucking brilliant. This was originally a PlayStation 3 title that made use of the gyroscopic motion sensors in that system's controllers, the 6-axis I think was called, where you tilted the pad around to manipulate the wind's speed and general direction. Apparently such a feature never made it to the PC port, at least that's what the GOG reviews suggest anyway, but Flower does let you use the mouse, which works fine for the most part. You move the mouse to steer the wind in the general direction you want it to go, while holding the left clicker for full speed boost. Now I would imagine 6-axis would have been served better here in manipulating the speed you want to travel through, because having to do light taps for little speed bursts to stay on track when blowing through a trail of flowers feels a bit backwards. And it's those moments where you feel Flower loses something without the gyroscopic controls. Slap this on modern platforms or something like Switch 1, 2, whatever, where you have such controls, and this would have been right at home. As it is, Flower is one of the rare games I've played where using a mouse is actually a step back, which I've rarely encountered. It's these little moments with control where the game sort of takes you out of the mood that it's trying to envelop you in, which is to guide you with emotion and serenity through this soothing brilliance of nature and its natural colors and beautiful skies. Well, at least up until the back end where it gets drab, dreary, and very out of place for a game most people have said was nice and calm and peaceful. I would very much like to know who said these things, and I want their heads because these people are liars. Yeah, the back end of the game isn't fun, folks. The parts where you have to navigate specific terrain a certain way because of wind currents and things like that, and you can't backtrack. The parts where you're going from waking flowers to smashing through debris, some of which will shock you and burn away some of your petals, and all these dark, drab, dreary colors that really make things difficult to spot. The final level in particular is a bit of a mess and took a while to figure out, and I'll be honest, that part is not fun. And not in the sense of despair and discomfort as the game would probably intend this segment to be, but rather in the sense of annoyance and impatience, and I just want to get this shit over with. Not that you'd be able to tell, right? And the thing is, you can't quit the game or else you have to replay the whole level all over again. That's the devious thing about this very evil game. It lulls you into a false sense of security. Oh, fly around the pretty fields, paint a bunch of grass, grow some weed, light some roads, and then you give me this and I get shocked by debris and I have to go through this drab, dark, grayish scenery that's all the graphical quality goes to shit and the only way to lose is to quit? No, fuck this game. Fuck this game up its ass now that I've had time to reflect on this whole deal. Dreadful. That's really the one knock is the back end, because everything before that, and it's 2026, we're playing a game from 2019 that's a part of a game from 2009. Yes, the grass in this day and age is a bit plasticky. But you know, the flowers are rather nice looking, the scenery in the distance is quite beautiful actually. The shifting skies and the passage of time is mesmerizing, all the dazzling shift in colors, and all of a sudden... You know what, let's not focus on that anymore, let's not, because that's the part where everything goes to shit in more ways than one, and well, I don't know, the stuff that's basically Windows XP desktop simulator, and you're going through these fields of grass and the wonderful scenic routes, you've got that wonderful soothing music playing in the background, which you've been hearing bits and pieces of here, and hey, by 2009 standards, and on a digital download no less, this would have given even cynical 2009 me some nice, pure, happy thoughts during a time when I could have used such things, but that's neither here nor there. Flower is not for everyone. There are those who require substance in their video games and this won't provide it. There's something resembling a narrative of sorts, but you have to really dig deep in order to find out what that actually entails or what it all really means. There are secrets to uncover, but are they really worth pursuing? And even within the mindset of letting yourself bleed into this world's ambience and be guided by your senses, you're still left dealing with inadequate controls that doesn't quite replicate what you had on PlayStation 3 with the 6-axis. This is a game that requires the player to approach it in a certain manner and attitude that truly appreciate what Flower is going for. It's more about the experience than anything else, a virtual simulator of sorts. That's probably the best way to approach Flower, and if you feel this looks like a complete waste of time, I wouldn't blame you. What it really boils down to is what you're looking for. Nice, calm, soothing, let the wind blow catharsis that you could play for a brief bit every so often? Flower can do that. Deep, thought-provoking, action-packed thrill ride, and not so much. All I know is that Flower was cheap, Flower ran without a hitch, mostly, and I was not bored. Take that for what it's worth, but ultimately, your mileage may vary.